Video games are one of the most profitable parts of entertainment. And the reason is not just the sale of the game itself. The revenue model of this industry has become very broad. A game can make money in several ways. Selling the main version of the game is one way. Selling in-game items is the second way. Monthly subscription is a third way. Ads are also important for free games. Mobile games made this model much bigger. The user installs the game for free, but then pays for coins, skins, levels, characters, or even more power. These small purchases, when repeated at a large scale, create heavy revenue. Companies in this model are not looking for one simple sale, they are looking for recurring revenue. It means the user does not buy the game once and then it's over. The user enters the game many times, buys many times, sees ads many times. Online games also made this trend stronger because the game stays alive after release. It gets updates, it creates new events, it introduces a new season. This makes the user stay inside the game for a longer time. The cost of making big games is high, but when a game succeeds, digital sales create a good profit margin because producing each new copy has no physical cost. The game is made once, then it is sold millions of times. Which is why gaming is not just a simple entertainment, it is a serious business model. A model that makes revenue from the user's time, attention, and habits. Sports entertainment. See, sports is one of the biggest parts of entertainment in the world. But sports revenue does not come only from the match. Today, sports is a media industry. Clubs, leagues, and organizers, of course, make money from several paths. Broadcasting rights are one of the most important paths. Networks and platforms pay a lot of money to broadcast matches because a live match is high value. The audience usually does not want to see the result later, they follow it at the same moment. Sponsorship is the second part. Brands pay money to be seen next to teams and athletes, on the shirts, next to the field itself, inside TV programs, on social media. This visibility has economic value for brands. Ticket sales are also pretty important, but in big leagues, they're not really always the main source. Sometimes broadcasting rights and sponsorships become much more important than tickets themselves. Selling team shirts and products has its own separate revenue. The fan does not just watch the match, they buy the team shirt. They get a platform subscription, they follow the team's content, sometimes they even spend money to travel and attend the game. Sports is profitable because of fan loyalty. A fan usually does not change the team easily. This long-term loyalty has a lot of value for clubs and brands, which is why sports is not a normal product, it is long relationship with the audience. This same relationship creates recurring revenue. Streaming platforms. Streaming has changed the way people consume movies and series. Before, television and cinema had the main control. Now platforms have taken a large part of the market. The main revenue of this industry comes from subscription. The user pays money every month, and in return, well, they get access to a library of movies, series, documentaries, and programs. This model is attractive for companies because it creates regular revenue. But subscription is not the only revenue path, you see. Some platforms also show ads. Some have a cheaper plan with ads. Some sell their own content to other markets. Some also make money from licensing and cooperation with brands. The main issue in streaming is keeping the user. If the user cancels the subscription, revenues goes down, which is basically why platforms constantly make new content. They produce exclusive series, they buy exclusive movies, and analyze user behavior data as well. This industry has high costs. Content production is expensive. Advertising to attract users is also expensive. Competition is also intense. But if a platform reaches a large number of subscribers, it gains a major advantage. Streaming works on the user's consumption habits. The goal is for the user to come back every day, to have something to watch every day, to find a new reason every day to keep the subscription, the film and the cinema. Cinema is still one of the main pillars of entertainment, but cinema money does not come only from ticket sales. A successful movie can create revenue from several paths. The first path is, of course, box office sales, which means the revenue that comes from theatrical releases. But after the box office, other paths begin. Selling broadcasting rights, streaming on platforms, TV broadcasting, selling the digital version, merchandising, making sequels. Big movies are usually not made for only one theatrical release. Studios are looking to build a long-term asset. If a character or a story world succeeds, it can make money for years. That is why franchises have become important. A franchise means a cinematic brand that has several movies, series, games, and merchandise made from it. This model reduces risk because the audience already knows the brand. But cinema also has high risk. The production budget is pretty high. Advertising costs very high. If the movie fails, the loss can be pretty heavy. And for this reason, studios go less toward completely unknown ideas. They go more toward sequels, adaptations, and known stories because the chance of sales just becomes higher. Cinema becomes very profitable when it does not just sell a movie, but builds a brand that can be used to make products, games, series, and other experiences. The music industry has changed a lot compared to before. Before, selling albums and CDs was more important. Now it is streaming, concerts, and personal brand that play the main role. Music revenue comes from several paths: playing songs on platforms, concerts and tours, selling the right to use a song, advertising cooperation, selling products related to the artist itself. Streaming has made music revenue more continuous nowadays. Every time a song is played, it creates a small amount of revenue. This revenue is not high for each play, but when the number of plays get very high, the number becomes important. For big artists per se, concerts are usually very profitable. Revenue does not come only from tickets, VIP tickets, sponsors, clothing sales, album sales, and merchandise are also added. Music is tied to fan identity. The fan does not just listen to the song, they follow the artist. They also see the artist's clothing style, worlds, performances, and personal brands, which is pretty much why big artists are not just singers, they themselves become media and brands. This brand can cooperate with companies, sell products, get advertising, and hold a world tour. In this industry, ownership of publishing rights is very important. The person who owns the rights to the song also earns money for later uses. And this is why the music catalog of famous artists has high financial value. Live events. Live events include concerts, festivals, theater, stand-up competitions, and, well, of course, in-person programs. This part counts on the physical presence of people. The main revenue comes from ticket sales, but it is not only tickets. Sponsorship, food sales, drinks, parking, merchandise, and online broadcasting can also create revenue. A live event has one important feature. Its capacity is limited. When demanded and high, the price goes up. Better seats, VIP tickets, special packages create more revenue. Holding an event has high costs as well. A hall or performance space is to be rented. Sound and lighting equipment is needed. Security staff is needed. Advertising is needed. Technical and exclusive coordination also has costs. But if sales are good, the profit becomes significant because a successful event can create a lot of revenue in a short time. Brands are also interested in live events because the audience is gathered in one specific place. Their attention is also focused on the program. This space is suitable for advertising and sponsorship. Live events did not really disappear after the growth of digital space. In fact, the value of the in-person experience has become even higher because they offer something that the online version cannot even replace: social media and the creator economy. Social media is one of the most important parts of modern entertainment. In this part, content production is not only in brands of big companies, ordinary people, small teams, and personal brands have also entered the market. The revenue of this industry comes from advertising. Platforms sell user attention. The more the user stays inside the platform, the more ads they see. The more ads are seen, the more revenue is made. Content creators also get revenue from this same cycle. Some get a share of advertising, some get sponsors, some sell their own products, some have courses, subscriptions, consulting, and paid memberships. The advantage of this industry is the lower entry cost. One person can also start with a phone. They do not need a big studio. However, growing is not simple. Competition is pretty high, audience attention has become limited, algorithms also constantly change. In this model, content itself is not the final product. Sometimes content is only a tool for attracting attention. Then this attention turns into money through advertising, through sales, of course, through trust building. The creator economy depends on personal brand. The more trust and attention there is, the more revenue there is. But dependence on the platform is a serious risk because a change in the rules or the algorithm can quickly, simply change revenue. Theme parks and attractions. Technically speaking, theme parks are not just amusement parks. This part is considered a combination of entertainment, tourism, in-person sales, and branding. The first revenue comes from the entrance ticket, but the main revenue usually starts after entry. The food, the drinks, stores, souvenirs, photos, parking, hotel, special tickets, all of these are added to the revenue. See, big parks use well-known brands, characters, movies, and famous stories into the real space. This makes the audience pay more money for the in-person experience. The cost of this industry is pretty high. It needs land, it needs expensive equipment, it needs constant maintenance, it needs a lot of security and staff as well. But when the number of visitors is high, revenue becomes very large as well, because each visitor does not buy only one ticket. During the visit, they spend money several times. Theme parks are also connected to tourism. If a city or area has many visitors, the park has a better chance of growth, which is why big parks usually develop next to hotels, shopping centers, and side services. This industry becomes profitable because it sells a physical experience, an experience that cannot be simply downloaded or copied. Anime, comics, and manga. Anime, comics, and manga are not just visual content. This part is usually the base for building big franchises. See, a manga can first be published in print or digital form, of course. If it succeeds, then it becomes an anime, then a game, then a movie, clothing, figure, posters, and other products may of course be made from it. Here, the main value is the intellectual property, which means the character, the story, the design, and the world of just that work. When these become popular, they create revenue from several paths. See, Japan has a very important role in anime and manga. America is also a large market in comics and superheroes. But the consumption of this content has become global. Fans are not only in the country that creates it. In this industry, the fan community is very important. The fan does not just watch, they also buy. They buy figures, they buy manga, they buy clothes, they attend events, they follow the related game as well. This model makes a successful work and has long revenue life. Even if a new season is not released, related products can still sell. Anime and comics become profitable when they go beyond one piece of content, which means they become a brand that connects several different markets together. Merchandise and licensing. Merchandise is one of the very profitable parts of entertainment. Well, this part includes toys, clothes, bags, mugs, figures, posters, school supplies, of course, similar products. The main model of this industry is pretty simple. A company owns a brand, character, or story, then it allows other companies to use that brand on products. In return, it gets money, or it takes a percentage of sales. This model is in fact attractive for entertainment companies, because they don't really need to produce all the products themselves, they own the brand. Production and distribution can be in the hands of other companies, but the revenue still goes back to the brand owner. Merchandise depends on the popularity of the content. If a movie, a game, series, or character is just popular, sales of related goods also go up. This part is very strong for children and teenagers because a popular franchise can be placed on hundreds of different products. Clothes, bags, notebooks, toys, water bottles, shoes, even snacks. And the same model also exists for adults. T-shirts, collections, figures, limited editions, and of course, collectible products are all important examples. Licensing makes the revenue of a work not limited only to its broadcast time. Even after a movie or series ends, related products can still sell, which is why brand ownership in entertainment has a lot of value. And that's it.